An international film that's making a lot of noise has now picked up an Oscar nomination for Best Original Song. The epic RRR is the first all-Indian film to be nominated in that category. The song Natu Natu is up against 4 other movie tunes and has already won a Golden Globe. And as CBC movie critic Eli Glasner tells us, it's not the only thing about RRR that's breaking new ground.
Watching RRR is not your normal night at the movies. At this LA screening, the audience stormed the stage.
We just saw everyone starting to rush up, and we're like, we have to do it. It caught on. It was infectious.
This is the power of RRR, a movie smashing records and winning over audiences worldwide.
It was fascinating to see the audience love a movie in the way the Indians love it, and not just love it passively.
The story generating all this passion follows 2 freedom fighters battling the colonial powers. It comes from S.S. Rajamouli, a director known for his audacious cinema style.
Whether it's these large, oversized animals jumping right at you, or you see one man fending off like 500 bodies, it's just incredible visual storytelling.
Part of what makes RRR special is where it's from. Most Bollywood films come from Mumbai, where the language spoken is Hindi. But RRR is a Telugu language film from southern India's Tollywood region.
This Guelph student saw the film 5 times and will never forget her first experience.
But instantly, like the second it started playing, the adrenaline was up and it kind of just stayed up the whole time. My heart was beating really fast and I was like on the edge of my seat.
Now RRR's winning over fans like James Cameron and racking up wins at the Critics' Choice and Golden Globe Awards. Suggesting what's considered a worthy film could be changing.
That they can be loud and rambunctious and celebratory and perhaps bizarre and utterly unrealistic, but also deliver a story that is as truthful to the people watching it as it can be.
Oscars or not, she says RRR has already proved itself with the audience it was made for. Eli Glasner, CBC News, Toronto.
Looks incredible. So what does this mean for the Indian community in Manitoba? We reached out to Canadian filmmaker Mandeep Sodhi, and this is some of his past work. Mandeep is a screenwriter, cinematographer, and director who's worked in Indian cinema. He's home here in Winnipeg right now, working on a screenplay. We spoke earlier today. Mandeep, RRR has landed an Oscar nomination for Best Original Song. What does it mean to you that this movie from India gets that kind of recognition?
This is great, actually. And again, I repeat myself, it's great for the community. It's great for all voices in cinema because all stories are important and everybody gets to express themselves more just because they're seeing this kind of recognition for the work that India has done.
And the film actually also just won Best Original Song at the Golden Globes, beating out artists like Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift. What does that say about the power of Indian music and cinema?
I think they have been really powerful thanks to how these projects are, the streaming services like Netflix and other streaming services, which help to get more eyes on this, and then people talk about it, and then more eyes get on it, and then eventually, people realize this is art, and this is a different type of art. And it was amazing when it won the Golden Globe, and I was really excited, and I'm glad to see it got the Oscar nomination, and hopefully, it'll land an Oscar too. Who knows?
Yeah, and the cinematography looks incredible. Films being made by BIPOC filmmakers are finally getting more recognition in Hollywood. Why is that important for filmmakers like you?
I think, we are having this conversation because RRR got a nomination. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be on this segment. So the more representation we have is the more representation we'll see. So it'll give power to all filmmakers from different backgrounds to be able to express their stories, knowing that all stories are important and there are people watching it and they can express themselves even more now.
Yes. How hard has it been to work in Canada as a filmmaker of color?
In the beginning, a few people told me you wouldn't amount to anything, you don't know anything, blah, 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 blah. But I always said the limitations that people have imposed on me are their own, they're not mine. So I had to keep doing what I want to do. There are a couple of companies that have supported me throughout my career, Farpoint Films, Memory Films, that have led me to express myself as a filmmaker, and I'm able to do more with my career, and I'm able to get work based on how I was able to prove myself over the years to be who I am right now, I guess.
And you are working on another script right now. Tell us what you're doing.
I made this documentary, Dad Man, and we are trying to make a second part of this, and there's a feature film that I'm writing. I love writing, I love shooting, I love creating stories. The story is about how I, as a dark-skinned child, grew up in India and how hard that was, and that has led to me becoming who I am now, you know? I am the overcompensations that I've led to till now, I guess.
Sounds interesting. So if RRR does win an Oscar, what will that mean to you and to your community?
I think it'll be huge for the community. Again, it'll push all filmmakers in India, all BIPOC filmmakers, to tell their stories the way they want to, not defining themselves by the norm, and being able to express themselves freely. And then more and more films can come which are different than what we've already seen for the past 20 years, and even the remakes over and above that.
Okay, well, we'll keep our fingers crossed. Thanks so much, Mandeep.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Still ahead, the 7-day forecast and the daily list.